New Canadian streaming service CBC Gem offers a comedic take on the horrors of modern dating. But how does the homespun web series compare to all the other digital content screaming for your attention? I'm your host, B.A. Jarvis, and you are watching The Golden Door. Alright, in today's video we're going to be taking a little bit of a break from the airing of grievances with regards to the media and bringing things closer to home by looking at a quirky little web series available on CBC Gem, which is the latest iteration of the national broadcaster's online streaming service. CBC has been on a bit of a roll lately in terms of their comedic productions, with Schitt's Creek, Kim's Convenience, and Working Moms, among others, all achieving some form of critical and commercial success. Now, I understand everyone outside of Canada is probably scratching their heads at this point, wondering what the hell I'm talking about, but from my understanding, all of these programs are available through Netflix internationally, so go ahead and check them out. With True Dating Stories, Toronto-based creators Andy and Matt King look at the darker side of dating in the modern age. Love stories these are not, and anyone looking for at least the possibility of a happy ending should probably stick with other dating programs like the recent Netflix original Dating Around. The first season of the series debuted in late 2015 and was nominated for 2 Canadian Screen Awards. However, from what I can tell, this season is not currently available on CBC, so this review will be based entirely on my impressions of the second season. The show's format is fairly straightforward, with real-life storytellers recounting their personal dates from hell, with actors performing the reenactments. Each 7 to 10 minute episode typically contains 3 short acts, which condenses the humor into a punchy salvo and doesn't overstay its welcome. The show has a quirky, homespun Canadian charm, and the actors do a pretty good job of making themselves look like the real people who are telling the story. The first episode that I watched and caught my attention features Laura, a neurotic dog walker who entangles herself with a handsome owner of a neighborhood pooch. Now, Laura and her complete disregard of boundaries reminded me of a couple of women I've met over the course of my time here in Toronto, and while I don't own a dog and can't identify with the specifics of the situation, I did find the overall episode somehow quite relatable. Laura's episode culminates with a bizarre sexual encounter with her hookup insisting on listening and singing along to his own amateur hip-hop track, her calling him by the name of his dog, and what is described as one of the longest expulsions of air to ever come from a human vagina. It all adds up to some pretty classic raunchy comedy, definitely earning a couple of belly laughs from yours truly. If not outright embarrassing for the various storytellers, the episodes at minimum show some pretty poor judgment, but their stories of regret are the viewer's gain. There's also a bit of Canadianness in the fact that most of these people, while clearly being critical and at times rightfully judgmental of their dates, are rarely the ones to end the date early, and makes me wonder about the classic Canadian stereotype of an ingrained politeness or instinct not to be rude even when the situation may call for it. Not that I would ever imply that there's such a thing as classic or stereotypical Canadian behavior. Now, the show is obviously operating on a limited budget, but it's nevertheless hard to tell whether the decision not to buy the rights to Van Halen's Running with the Devil and instead record an atrociously bad facsimile, Jogging with the Demon, is done for budgetary concerns or comedic effect. Either way, I'll make sure to include a bit of it at the end of the video. As co-creator Andy King points out, before online apps, when you went out on a date, it was probably someone you knew from your circle of friends. Once in a while you'd meet someone random, but for the most part it was someone at least vetted by a friend, and that led to some accountability, he explains. But once internet dating came around, people started going outside their regular worlds. People started misrepresenting themselves. I think it's safe to assume there are a lot more failed dates now than there ever has been, indicating that there should be plenty of fodder for future seasons. So if you are in Canada and looking for some lighthearted entertainment, I would encourage you to check out the show. It's a very small time commitment and will give you an opportunity to take a look at the other content offered on CBC Gem. Gem was launched in December 2008 and currently boasts over 4,000 hours of free content available on the CBC website, as well as their apps available on both iOS and Android. Now, obviously this isn't much in comparison to the larger streaming services like Netflix and Amazon Prime, but I'll say it again, it's free, and it offers some content from the Great White North that you're not likely to find anywhere else. Alright guys, thanks very much again for watching this video. If you want to see more content like this, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned for more. Until next time, this has been The Golden Door.